If you're here because you're interested in affordably growing your real estate biz, you are absolutely in the right place. As we dive in, I want to set some clear expectations for today. My intention is to deliver a massive amount of value in as short amount of time as possible, right? I want to try to eliminate all the preamble and just get right into the good stuff. So let's start strong. I want you guys to tell me in the chat right now what you're here for. Go ahead, just type it in. Tell me what the one thing you could get today that would make today totally awesome for you. Put that in the chat right now. Client follow-up, simplify your program, grow your luxury business. Cookies, Bill, a man after my own heart. I love it. More reference. I'm thinking like more referrals. That's probably what you mean there, Guy. That's awesome. These are all good things, right? One of my core fundamental beliefs is the more clarity we have around what we want to get, the more certainty we have in getting it. That's certainly been the story of my life. So let's see here. We got more biz from Bill, more biz from Claudette, to utilize my database and get more biz from Murray. These are awesome. So clearly, if you've registered for a webinar called How to Affordably Grow Your Real Estate Business, I can presume you're here to affordably grow your real estate business. That seems safe. That seems safe. So let's see. We've got ability to enhance my real estate business in 2021. Gary says more organized approach to leads from onboarding to renewal. Bruno, hello, Bruno. Good to see you here. Maya, organize my database so I can grow it. Awesome. Tara, best questions to ask when following up locking down listing appointments. Great. So this is awesome. I am going to keep my eyes peeled on this chat throughout the webinar. There are going to be moments where I get back to it. There are going to be moments where I ask you questions that I need your response and your input on for us to keep things moving forward. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to dig in. So let me just get the right desktop shared here. And I will turn my PowerPoint deck on and we will dig right the heck in. So today, you're all here for the same thing, right? And that's what we're going to get accomplished. We're going to knock out three main components here: the why, the how, and how much of affordably growing your real estate business, right? So if that sounds cool to you, the chat, tell me yes, that's what you want, because I need to make sure this is working. So yeah, I see that here. I'm going to draw here. I love it. Thomas here too. Here he is. Boom. Awesome. I love that you're both here. So cool. So cool. So guys, we have some really cool stuff that we're going to cover today. And for those of you who stick with me all the way through the end, I'm going to show you some brand new technology. We're adding it to Happy Grasshopper. It's going to be available for everyone who already has an account with us. And trust me, you're going to want this. So let's start out here with just a couple of housekeeping issues. As you know, my eyes will be peeled on the chat, and this is going to be an interactive session. I need you to do a couple of things for me. You should have something in front of you right now ready to take notes on. Grab a pen and paper, grab your Remarkable, grab your phone, be ready to take notes. It's important that you do that, and also take notes of the questions that you want to get answered. Now, if you're here hoping for a step-by-step guide through our software, I'm telling you, this is not the place to get it. You can get that. We're happy to give you all those details. You could just call the number you see on the screen, or you can go to this URL, happygrasshopper.com/tour, and you can register for your one-on-one tour of our service. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? I'm feeling good about this. So let's start out with why we should even care about affordably growing our real estate business. If we don't have a good reason, we're probably not going to do it. So that's where we start. We start by developing some really strong reasons of why we should grow our real estate business. So what are they? I want to hear them. pop them in here in the chat for me. Tell me why it's a must. Why is it absolutely imperative that you grow your real estate business? This is how you can tell this is a live session. There's a lag, right? There's a lag between when I ask the questions, I see the answers, and here they come. To pay the bills, better earning and use of time. Anthony, I love this. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. Yep. Tara, build wealth. Donna, to take advantage of the robust market right now. I mean, wow, what a market we have right now. To keep your pipeline full, to have a business to sell when you retire. Retirement, I see that twice in a row here. 3 times, and prepare for a comfortable retirement. Pay for my kiddos' homes. Dawn, please, can I be your kiddo? That sounds awesome. I like it. For every person you add to your base, someone leaves. Yeah, you've got to be growing. Like the old rule of thumb is, you know, 1/3 of the people you know are moving away, right? They're dying. They're no longer potential clients for you. You've got to constantly be refilling that pipeline. Jim says he wants to grow to be more efficient. Holly says to live the lifestyle I want to live and provide for family and causes I believe in. Bill, feathering the nest. I like it. Cynthia, to not go backwards, right? That's a real internal thing. Like if you become the type of person who's always interested in improving, no matter what the market does, it's really hard to slow things down. Darren Franzen is here. Howdy, Darren. I love you, dude. We haven't talked in too long. We got to fix that. He says it feels good. Penny says eliminate debt. Laura says retirement. Claudette says build financially stable. Build financial stability, I suppose. Janice says to not spend all my time working, right? Ray, income necessary to supplement retirement income, right? So you've all got a lot of reasons here. There are a lot of reasons you should want to affordably grow your real estate business. Many of you have hit on this one, right? You need more money. You need more money than you think you do, in fact, because when you have more money than you need, you're able to not just weather downturns and the unforeseen surprise. You're not just able to take a hit when things are rocky. More importantly, you're able to take advantage of unique opportunities when they arise, you know, particularly in real estate. Like I hope that every single one of you is putting together a war chest. So when you see an opportunity that makes sense for you to act on, that you can do so. Really, really important to do that. And now focusing a bit more specifically here to like, not just why grow, not just why have more money, but why affordably grow, right? That's a little tweak on the question here. And it's really important to acknowledge that, because when you say, I'm not just committed to growth, I'm committed to affordably growing, you're asking a question that scales, right? And it works for you no matter what stage of business you're in. So if you're a brand new agent, you've never sold a home yet, you're naturally interested in affordably growing your business, right? And yet, what if you're a decade in and you're generating tons of leads and you have admin staff and you've got a bunch of buyer's agents? Well, now you're investing a lot of money. Are you getting the return that's necessary for that affordable growth? That's a tough question, because I think we all can relate to having a goal that we really feel like we want to reach. And then as we get there, we think, I'm not sure it was worth it. Like I might be working much harder than I expected to be to achieve a smaller return than I expected, right? That's a rough place to find yourself. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when I say scoreboard, because, you know, it's all about scoreboard. It's great to have a high volume of transactions. It's great to earn an enormous amount of GCI. And yet, if you're not keeping a good chunk of it, what's the point? Like, what is the point? You've got to find a way to constrain your costs so that you can enjoy the profits of your hard work, right? And saying this is easy. The hard part is doing it, right? The hard part is doing it. So how do we do this? What are the ways available to us to grow our real estate business? I'm going to help you out here. I'm going to put a list of things you could do. up on the screen. And I want you in the chat to tell me now which of these you're doing. Yeah. And you know what? Let's ask another question here. Which of these is most effective for you? Think about that. All right, so here again, it's live and boom, the answers come in. Leslie, first one out of the gate, referrals. Alona, SOI and advertising. Past clients, SOI, past client. Thomas, happy Grasshopper. I love you, Thomas. Lisa, keeping tabs. Donna, referrals and past clients. Dawn Wade, past clients, referrals, direct mail. Melody, past clients, referrals. Tara, prospecting, direct mail. SOI, referrals, direct mail. Past clients and referrals. Now, here's a really important point, guys. If we look at this list, some of these activities are very proactive. Like you can wake up and say, I'm going to do these things. You can get ahead of your day. You can get ahead of your week, your month, your quarter, and your year by being proactive in your activities. The challenge is that a bunch of these things are also reactive. You know, when your phone's ringing, when leads are coming in, when these things are happening, you have to react. All of a sudden you get so busy and caught up with fulfilling your role that you run out of time to do all the things that got you busy in the first place, right? So to be ultimately successful, which to me means not just financial success, but also relationship success, health success, quality of life success, you really need to consider these proactive things as being non-negotiable. Like you will do the non-negotiable things, right? You do this for your clients, you need to do them for yourselves. And to me, that means making sure that every single person you meet along the way is someone that you're going to cultivate a long-term relationship with. So Celine, I see your question and the answer is yes. We always do that here for all of these. So back to the list here, we've got all these things. Now, many of you, and I didn't do the math here, but I would guess probably 60, 70% of you mentioned referrals as your largest source of business. So, you know, the next follow-up question here is, well, what the heck are we doing to stay in touch with these people? How are we engaging with them? So on a scale of 0 to 10, I'd like you to enter in the chat for me how satisfied you are with your database follow-up. Scale of 0 to 10. Go ahead and put that in there for me. A 6, a 0, a 7, an 8, a 2, a 9, a 5, a 4, a 1, a 2. Ooh, a -3. Bill, my man, we got to talk. Melody with a 6, a 5, a 2. Claudette with a 0. Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to do something here for you guys for just a moment, okay? I'm going to stop that screen share and I'm going to start a new one. Give me just a moment here. This will be worth it, I promise. All right, so can you please give me a yes in the chat if you see this big black screen now? I'm hoping that you can. This is a whiteboard, and I'm going to make a little sketch here for you because, you know, there's so many ways you can grow your business, right? So let's imagine you here in this section of the whiteboard. I'll draw a very poor outline of a person here. You've got people who are super close to you. Like that's your SOI, your sphere, and your past clients. That's who's here. And then we go further and further out, right? And way out here we have leads. Leads have no idea who you are. You're just a human being who happens to have a real estate license. They're not committed to you. They don't value you. You're one of a million people who have a license. You can open a door. You can give them data that most of them can look up on their own. So, you know, you've got to have a plan to communicate to these people your own personal value proposition. And in the process of doing that, you're taking people who are out here and you're pulling them closer to you. Now, this term, sphere of influence, the reason we use that term influence is because these people, the folks who are you're closest with, you naturally have the most influence over. So the way to affordably grow your business over time, just making it as simple as possible, is to have a plan to move people from out here all the way over here, right? You need to get to the point where the people who know you would refuse to let their friends and family do business with anyone else, right? And I know a lot of you are here on the call today. I know you have clients who absolutely love you, who feel that way about you right now. Well, you can try to convert all the leads out here, and we'll look at some data from NAR in just a moment. Or instead of trying to convert them, you can shift your thinking just a little bit and really focus on building a relationship with them, right? And that is such a much more valuable thing to do, because when you have a relationship, you have the opportunity for so much more than just one transaction. So let me clear this, and we'll just put together a little map here for you. So let's say you've got your goal. We'll draw a big star up here on the right. And you're here now. Well, to go from here all the way up there, you have to climb a ladder. And what we're going to do now is just build that ladder in reverse. So we start up here with our goal in sight, and we look at the first step backwards. And let's just call out a goal. Let's say that this goal is 60 transactions. I know for some of you on the call, that's like, what? Impossibly large. And for others, it's like, why would I do that? I did that 3 years ago. No, we need to think much bigger. So the number here is not important. What matters is that whatever your goal is, the step immediately before that goal is called opportunities, right? Some people call these things leads. Okay. Now, where do your best opportunities come from? The best ones you'll ever have, right? It's not a Facebook lead. It's not an IDX lead. It's not a realtor.com lead. It's a referral. Like always referrals. They are the best, readiest to close leads you'll ever get in your whole life, right? Well, where do referrals come from? Like, where do you get those? They only come from one place, and that's relationships, right? If you've got great relationships with people and they really love you, they're going to refer people to you. That's how it works. Absolutely. So where do relationships exist? I love this, right? Because at the end of the day, this is the most valuable thing you can add to your business, right? And it's called conversation. So those of you who are married, right? Those of you who are in love, those of you who are parents, those of you who are negotiating contracts right now, or peace treaties, or trying to resolve massive differences of opinion, all of these things exist inside conversation. If you're not in conversation with people, you're not in relationship with people, right? So again, we imagine all those leads out here that you generate that you're not in relationship yet, and we're wanting to pull them all the way closer to where you are. Well, to do that, we have to have conversations with them. That's how we move them this way, right? So what do we do to start conversations? Pretty straightforward. We ask the right questions. So if you follow this staircase from where you are to your goal, you can simply track it. You can say, well, how many questions do I need to ask in order to achieve the goal that I've set for myself, right? And it's very helpful to know there's actual math for this. So if we look at our database internally, we're currently nurturing 16 million contacts for real estate professionals. So we know that for every 100 contacts that are in a database that actually know who you are, there's approximately 12 transactions per year in that group, right? Now, the difference between having 100 people in your database and 100 people who actually know you, like you, and trust you is enormous. There's no value in just having a contact. All the value is in having the relationship, right? So, what we've really worked on over the past 10 years is building a process by which agents can reliably start conversations that allow them to produce better relationships that, of course, flows upwards to the achievement of their goal. And, maybe that goal is one transaction a month and they only need 100 contacts to get there, right? Or maybe it's something much larger. And maybe you've got thousands of contacts in your database already. Well, for this 100, we're talking about people who know you. Like that's much different than a lead who doesn't know who you are. So those people are always, always, always going to be more productive for you than strangers who've just registered for something on the internet. So, I'm telling you, if you want to convert more of your leads, focus more on converting the relationship rather than the sale, and that will help happen for you. So I love to see this. Thank you so much, Murray and Tiffany and Rob and Lynn. I love seeing your comments here in the chat. My eyeballs are on them, and yet I also have a mission. So I'm going to get back. I'm going to circle back to these things, I promise. So next, what we're going to do is jump out of this. I'm going to share the other screen again, and we're going to keep going. Okay, so where we left off, we were talking about how to grow that real estate business. And now we're going to put some math here. I mentioned having 16 million contacts that we're nurturing. That's hundreds of millions of data points. And we know that, there's 2 to 12 transactions for every 100 people that are in there. I told you about the 12 side. Those are people who know you. The 2 is among people who don't know you. So NAR has recently said that you've got about a 1% conversion rate for your internet leads on a national basis. We think it's a little bit better than that. We think it's about 2%. And, of course, I want to reemphasize the reason for this range between 2 and 12 is all about the relationship. So, if we think about these people who don't know you, these leads, we have to acknowledge the terrain that you're playing in, okay? So there are 90 million digital leads generated per year, and there are about 5.5 million transactions, okay? So think about that, 5.5 million home sales with 90 million leads. So, what that means is when someone registers online and becomes your lead, well, they're also becoming a lead for a lot of other agents. And the data suggests it's about 10 agents a single lead is registered with. And they often register as far as 18 months before they're ready to speak with an agent. So, let's contrast the lead situation with the past client situation. It's much, much better. NAR for years has said 89% of people would hire the same agent again. And we know that only 11% do, right? So, my question is, well, how can I help with that? How can I fix this problem? How can I help more agents get that second business again? And in figuring out how to do that, we've had to really go a little deep. I'm going to stop the screen share again here. I want you to see my face for this because this is personal work. This is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of conversations with agents about how their businesses actually operate. And what we're seeing is that there's some psychological gaps, like internal for the agent, that we have to help them get past. So you may relate to this. And if you do, just take a deep breath and let it go. It's fine. It's a human reaction. There's a tendency to be a little afraid of what someone might say after the transaction's completed. Like, have you felt that? Give me a yes in the chat if you've ever felt like, oh, I don't know if I should reach out to that person, right? I mean, think how the transaction goes. It starts, hey, they're excited, you're excited. You get something under contract, you guide them through a bunch of pitfalls. Finally, you have the transaction close. Tensions are high. There's a moment of relief. You're now fully invested in whoever's next. And all of a sudden, weeks or months or sometimes years go by, and you start to feel this burden about all those people you haven't kept in touch with. So, we've got to just go ahead and acknowledge that that's a real thing. And we've got to go ahead and take that leap of faith and reach out to these past clients in Sphere. And it helps to do so if we're not reaching out about real estate all the time. So that's the whole reason we've designed this plan the way that we have. Because if you're always talking real estate all the time, you're actually training people to ignore you. Because your focus should be real estate 24/7. Theirs is going to be anything else under the sun. So if you're only ever talking about real estate, they're only going to pay attention to you when they happen to be ready for a transaction, if they haven't already unsubscribed, right? That's an important thing to acknowledge. So now we get to move back, and I'm going to turn the screen share back on again here. We're going to jump. We've covered the why. We've talked about the how, right? Now we got to talk a little bit about the how much. So, I'm really curious, and I want to hear from you. Like, what do you think it would be worth to have that problem go away, where you knew for sure that you had a plan to affordably grow your real estate business? What's the value there? What would it be worth to know you weren't wasting money on lead gen and lead conversion, and you just knew for sure that you had the volume of transactions you wanted to have with people you actually enjoyed working with? The first two answers are the same. Tiffany and Jen both say priceless. Yeah, and it sounds almost too good to be true, right? And yet there are several people on this call right now that if they were in my area and they didn't stay at my home, I'd be disappointed, right? And I know if I go to their area, I'd be welcome in theirs. Relationships are just so important. There's no substitute for it. And if you're focused on building the relationship, you can never lose, right? You may not win the transaction 100% of the time, but you will never lose if you're really focused on the relationship. So let's dig in now. We'll talk specifically about the how much here. Let me get the right desktop shared. Okay. So, first of all, we're going to answer this question of what it really is affordable growth. That's an interesting question, right? Just think back to your first day in the industry. What was affordable to you then may be different than what's affordable to you now. And second to that, does cost even matter at all? Is that important? I remember years ago, I heard a person I respect say, you're making an investment. Like you should be focused on the return in your investment more than you should be on the actual cost. I've thought about that a lot over the years, right? Because if you find whether it's a stock, a bond, a mutual fund, an advertising strategy, a marketing system, if you put, say, $100 in and it returns $500, you probably don't care that it was $100, right? You probably like, well, how many more hundreds of dollars can I put in? So, the way I like to think of it is, well, what is the value of a single transaction? I'd love you to tell me, how much would you pay to have one transaction? Just tell me what that would be. And I'll look for these answers here in the chat. Tiffany says, people buy lottery tickets every day. Wish the casinos would work like that, says Rob. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? I mean, I don't know that people get an ROI on the lottery. Not people, maybe a person every now and then. Bob is saying it depends. Cynthia says she'd pay $1,000 for a transaction. Oh, and so does Alona. I would consistently pay $1,000 per transaction, right? So, there's another way to think about these numbers, guys. There's another way to think about it. For example, some of you are in organizations where you have a 50-50 split. NAR says the average commission per side is $6,000. So we know you're spending about $3,000 if you're in that situation. Some of you work referral leads. You're happy to do it. You pay 30% of the commission. So depending on the size of the transaction, that number is going to vary quite a lot. Mary Ellen says she'd pay 1%. The important thing here is that you know what you're willing to invest, right? That's important. You got to have a reasonable understanding of what you're willing to do so you can hold your dollars accountable. It's that simple. If it cost $100,000 and it returned $1 million, you'd do it every single day. You absolutely would. If you could get to a point where you had $100,000 to put into it, right? So that's why I love the focus of this question being how to affordably grow your real estate business, because until you have that pool of capital set aside where you know you're capable of investing in opportunities when they come along, it doesn't even matter what the price is, right? There's no chance it's affordable until you get that financial boot off your neck, right? And you get to the phase where you're really building a business. So, the question there comes back to how. Like, what do you do? How can you figure out how to make these things work? And, to that end, I'm going to show you how we help our members do that. So towards the end of last year, we just introduced a brand new service from Happy Grasshopper called Chirp. Now, Chirp is designed only for people who know you. It's only past clients and Sphere. It does not address leads at all. So I want to be clear about that. So for these people who know you, there's 41 touches per year. That consists of 17 emails, 6 to 12 texts, and 6 to 12 voicemail drops. And these all work in concert with each other. So, think about, yes, Rob, Chirp is the sound grasshoppers make. I love it. I want to point out how this works in concert with each other. So 17 non-salesy emails per year, 17 of them. That's once every 3 weeks. So that will cover interesting things that are happening now. It will cover holidays as they pop up. And then we're layering on top of that the texts and the voicemail drops. So, for example, I'll use you as an example, Rob. If your birthday were a week from today, I'd love for you to get a text from me today that says, "Hey, Rob, it's Dan Stewart. Am I the first to wish you a happy birthday?" ? Like, if you get that and we know each other, that's starting a conversation. And then on your birthday, I want one automated voicemail drop that I've recorded to show up on your phone, right? So, you're getting all these messages on Facebook all day long and you're feeling a little burdened about having to reply to them all. You're going to get a nice message from me that is different from all that. It really stands out. So, Cindy, you're asking a great question here. So approximately how long will I need to follow these steps to become rich? Okay. So rich, I love that because that's kind of a subjective definition. I've considered myself wealthy even when I had no money at all because, I really valued the relationships that I've built in my life. But I'll answer your question about, how long you need to follow these steps before they start to pay off. You will get replies almost instantly. Like if I sent Rob that birthday message, I'd get a reply from him almost instantly. I sent out an email from my own account earlier today. I already have messages back. And we see this consistently from members all over the country. When you send a message with us, like I love this story. She set up 3 contacts just to test it. She sent 1 email. She got her first reply 12 minutes later. Like, that's crazy. There are things you do that you're like, well, maybe I'll see an ROI after 6 months. This is not that thing. If you take the action, you will get the response. Now, there are a lot of ways to do this, right? So texting, like you can text using a number of different SMS services. And, I'll give you an example. Like if you've got one set up for lead response, a lot of our members with HG Pro accounts, we do this for them. A lead is captured, and then we can respond to that lead using their name with something like this. So, again, Rob, using you as an example, if you got a text that said, "Is this Rob?" you'd be like, yeah, who is this? Right? Oh, it's Dan over at Happy Grasshopper. Just saw you were on my website, or just saw you registered here, there, or wherever. Like, that's great for lead conversion. But again, if we're talking just about past clients and Sphere, a birthday message, a transaction anniversary message, a holiday message, those are going to be much more effective. So Ringless voicemail drops. How many of you guys have used Slide Broadcast? Like, raise your hand for me. Anybody ever try Slide Broadcast here? Dawn says no. Tara says plan to. Alona says yes. Okay. And here come a bunch more. Awesome. So Slide Broadcast is a pretty cool tool. It lets you record a message like this one, for example. You read that into their software, and then it delivers the message to whomever you choose, right? And what's cool is it doesn't make their phone ring. It just shows up as a missed call, and then they can either read it, they can listen to it. Of course, they can call you back, right? I like to use this for people I know. I love to use it with a birthday message. So, back to Rob and your birthday. If I recorded a message and I said, hey, it's Dan Stewart, I just want to reach out and say happy birthday. I hope you're doing well. I know today's probably nuts for you. I'd love to connect as soon as it makes sense. No pressure. Just give me a call, tomorrow, the next day, something like that. I know you've got my number. It's 727-533-5175. Thanks. Talk soon. Right? So I record that once, and then it can get automatically delivered to all the people in my database on their birthday. Another great example of ways to communicate with people would be handwritten cards. And I'm so proud of what we've done here. We've given the ability for our members to create cards like this one that they can send right from inside their accounts, right? So the handwritten card stuff is super, super good here. And oh, I love it. Sue's here. She says, your Sphere will respond with these voicemail drops. I've had great responses with my emails and text and voicemail drops. My first time I sent an email to it, to 111 contacts, and 105 people responded. That is a perfect example, Sue. Thanks for sharing. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to exit that screen share. I'm going to open a different one here. Give me just a moment. I want to show you guys directly inside the system here how we set this up and make it easy for you to run. So can somebody let me know you're seeing the right screen here? I want to be sure you're seeing Chirp on the screen. Okay, here comes a bunch of them. Yes. Okay, awesome. So right now I'm logged into my account inside Chirp. And what you're seeing here, I'm in the send by audience area. Our staff of writers creates messages like these that are available for you to send. And we remind you to do that once every 3 weeks throughout the year. Now, you'll notice some of these messages I liked much better than others. This playing with fire message, I know a lot of you are snowed in right now. I'm not in Tampa. So a guy cleaning his driveway with a flamethrower, that'll work in some parts of the country. It wouldn't work with me here in Tampa. So I chose to send this breaking bad habits message, which is all about the sorts of bad habits we've picked up during the quarantine. Some people have gained the COVID-19. I'm ashamed to say I've gained the COVID-30, and it's time for me to get my butt in gear and do something about that. So I sent this message out. I started getting texts in response to it, even though this is an email. I got a couple of phone calls from people on my list. And of course, I got replies in my inbox as well. So once every 3 weeks, you just choose one of these messages. And Tiffany, you're right. I'm the overachiever. I gained more than 19, that's for sure. You can edit any of these messages before you send them. That's important. Now, I've given the example here of having 17 non-salesy emails per year, 6 to 12 texts, and 6 to 12 voicemail drops. So when you're setting up your account here for the first time, like I'll show you the voicemail drop area, we have all these scripts loaded for you. I'm a big fan of these quarterly lead harvesting messages. Those get people to call you back with real estate needs. Here's the birthday greeting that I mentioned. I'll preview the script here. Okay. So, hey, it's me, Dan Stewart. Happy birthday. Hope I'm the first person to tell you that this year. And I certainly hope you're doing something fun. So let's catch up soon. Bye. Right? Simple. And all you have to do is click record voicemail drop and here, click allow. Our system will record it like I'll do this right now. Hey, it's me, Dan. Just thought I'd reach out and say happy birthday. Hope you're awesome. Would love to connect. I want to hear about all the fun you're planning on having today. I know you've got my number. It's 727-533-5175. Give me a buzz. Thanks. So now I've just recorded that. Okay. So all I'd have to do is click use recording. That gets saved to my birthday area. And then whenever I'm on the dashboard, like I'll scroll down here. It's loading up here. Here we've got my buddy Spencer's birthday is coming up on the 29th. All I have to do is click send voicemail and whoosh, out it goes, right? So that's one way that you can set it up and use this system to do that. Text messaging works in a very similar way. We have messages saved here for you. Our system reminds you when people in your database have their birthdays coming. So I love it. Sue, I see your question here. This is great. She says, I love your system, but sometimes I feel a little cheesy about the message. So this is why every single one of them is designed to be edited. Like I very much encourage you to make these messages your own, Sue. And I also encourage you in the send by audience area to use the rating system so our system can learn your preferences and then we can make adjustments and respond to them over time. So back to the system here, guys. It's about being proactive. It's about spending a little bit of time getting things set up and organized and then making it easy to take that consistent, proactive conversation starting approach with the people in your database. If you want more transactions, this is the way to get it. Conversations lead to contracts. It's a straight line. So I would certainly encourage anybody here who's got questions about this, chime off. I'm happy to answer them. And I also want to show you guys where you can go to take advantage of this because we're doing something super, super cool right now. If you go to happygrasshopper.com/meet Chirp, you'll see we've got a special offer that expires here in 4 days. You can just click buy now here to take advantage of that. And you're going to get all sorts of cool stuff built in. Now I'm going to scroll down here past all the examples, and I want to show you some of these bonuses. So first thing you see is Revaluate. Revaluate is a predictive analytics company that tells you how likely it is your contacts are going to move in the next 6 months. So anytime somebody is a score of 80 or higher, we're going to identify you to them or them to you so that you can reach out appropriately. So Revaluate is included absolutely free right now, but only until that offer is up there in 4 days. And Revaluate, by the way, it's only free for people who elect the annual plan because we have to subscribe to that for a year for you as part of the integration. So the second bonus, and this, remember, I promised you guys a free bonus at the beginning, something I would preview for you that no one else has seen yet. Are you ready for that? I'm going to tease you. I want the yeses in the chat. I want to see those yeses, and then I'll show you this cool new stuff. Okay, Ted. Yes, 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 yes. I love to see all the yeses. Super cool. So I'm going to stop the screen share here. Like, I don't need any video. I don't need a PowerPoint. I don't need anything except my phone to show you this. So, you know, those of you like Thomas and Lisa have been using Happy Grasshopper for a long time. You know that we're catching your leads from lots of different places, and then we're sending out your custom content. Well, what if you're face-to-face with someone and you'd like to just add them to the system? You know, that historically hasn't been the easiest thing in the world to do. You know, what if you're at a cocktail party or an event and you're meeting a lot of people and you want to pass out, business cards. Well, that's great, but it doesn't really get them in your database, and you don't know for sure that you're going to have any kind of keep in touch there, right? So we've solved that problem. Now, right now, I'm showing you my phone, okay? So I'm just going to share this with you. Right here, I have saved, and I say hi to Emmy, my 12-year-old. I'm going to click that icon on my phone, and you're going to see my HG info site, right? So all of you, you see the link there, danstewart.myhg.info. All of you who are Happy Grasshopper members are going to get this in the very near future. And all of you who are not, we're including this at no additional charge for a limited time. And look how cool this is. So people can link to my social, they can read about me, they can, follow me on social and Facebook, they can share my information. And of course, I want it to be easy for them to get my information. So like if you guys were to point your camera at that QR code on the screen right now, you'll be able to go to that site. It'll take you right there. Like how cool is that, right? So we're using the information in the system. We're also giving you the ability to add videos, to link to YouTube, whatever sort of things you'd like to have there on your site, you can do. And like when people click contact info here at the top, they can email you, call you, text you. And if they want to save your contact information, they just click it. And that saves a VCF card right to their phone. Okay. So to email me, to call me, to send me a text, I just click it. It pulls it right up there inside my system. So I am super stoked about the digital business cards, and you guys are the first in the world to see this. So what do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down? Any questions, any curiosity? Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Here they come. Awesome. Great. Nice. Princess, I love your question. Do people already in Chirp have Revaluate? You do if you're on the annual plan. So we just need to make sure about that. Lisa and Thomas, thank you. Oh, and Kathy's asking me to put that card back up, so I'll do that. So the QR code is what she's asking for. There you go. You see how easy that is? You just point your camera at it, and whether you're on an iPhone or an Android, it's going to take you right to that link. So that's something we can be pretty happy about when like one positive takeaway from COVID is that the whole world has learned to use QR codes. Almost everywhere we go out to eat, we're scanning the menu now. So that makes it pretty easy. Mary Ellen, I love it. The VCF card. So that is your contact information. So you know how when you save a new contact to your phone, you got to type in their name, their email, their phone number. Well, this spits out all of that information plus their social media. It saves it right directly to their phone. So I love you, Rob, but no, it will not work on your flip phone. Sorry, dude. Can't help you with that. So, all right. So I'm really excited about showing you this and sharing it with you because, like I said, it is brand new. It just cleared our internal testing. We have not yet rolled it out to our membership. So if you're here today, you truly are the first people in the world outside of Happy Grasshopper to see it. So that's pretty cool. And Cynthia, yes, it will work on iPhones as well as Android. Any smartphone, it's going to be fine on. No issue there. But Rob, it's been so long since I've had a flip phone. I honestly I can't imagine how this would work on a flip phone. It won't work on a flip phone. Let's cover that. So, all right, guys. And we're going to drop the link to the site again. We can definitely do that. Let me pull that over here right now. It's happygrasshopper.com/meet chirp. So I'll pop that in there. I see Bruno is saying what? So there might be some cross. Oh, what's a flip phone? Got it. Bruno, please. You know what a flip phone is. Bruno's a buddy of mine, by the way, guys. He's got a super cool real estate technology startup that I'm very excited about. So you can count on Bruno guesting here at some point in the future when he's ready. I will make sure that happens. Yeah, so guys you're pointing yourselves at the QR code, that's the link to this website, right? And then if somebody wants to save your information, like here, I should probably turn my brightness down. The camera's struggling with that. They click on contact. That's where they can save your contact. When they click save contact, whoosh, it's saved right directly over to the phone. Okay. And for me, by the way, the reason you see it's not doing anything is I've already done it. It's already saved there. So it doesn't create multiple records inside my phone. So there you go, guys. That's the new digital business card from Happy Grasshopper. Now, I see some of you are signing up. I'm getting the notice here from the new domain. So thank you, Holly Ferguson. Super appreciate that. It's awesome to have you on board. Next steps for those of you who are signing up, so you know what's coming. You're going to get a receipt from us and you're going to get your login credentials. And when those login credentials arrive for you, this is where it's going to take you. I'm going to jump back to my screen share here for a moment. It's going to take you right here to the dashboard inside your account, and it's going to start this tour automatically. So our system will walk you through the simple steps you go through to get your account fully set up and ready to use. And if you need help, just let us know. I've got a great world-class staff of support people who will take wonderful care of you. And in fact, if you want my personal help, I'll give you a pro tip. Send me an email, dan@happygrasshopper.com, and I'll get an appointment booked for you with one of our success specialists to take you through that personally. So that's normally something we charge for, but I'll just build that in for you guys who are getting in on Chirp now. So let's see, I'm going to pull up the questions here. Happy to answer any questions that you guys have coming in. Oh, thank you, Thomas. Yeah, I love that you'll be running that. That's great. And okay, I see Cynthia and Brian are connected there. Very cool. Kurt, thank you. I'm glad that you're impressed here. Happy to lead with value here for sure. So, you know, please. Oh, Rob, I love your question here. Thank you. I didn't even answer this. What kind of sales guy am I? I'm going to jump back over to this page. We'll talk about the investment here for this service. So you have a choice. You can pay monthly or you can pay annually. If you pay annually, you get free Revaluate. And of course, you get all the other freebies that we've talked about, including the digital business card site. So this is by far the best value. And if you break that down per contact, like there's up to 250 contacts in Chirp, because this is limited to people who definitely know who you are, that's like $2 per contact per year. It's less than that. So from a value perspective, it's really stacked there. Like the ROI on this can be outstanding. In fact, we have one of those stories here on the page that I'll show you. So this is our member, Randall Martin in Houston. We wrote a message here about Blockbuster Video, right? Now, I thought it was kind of a cool story. Blockbuster turned their last physical location into an Airbnb rental. So we wrote a message about that. Randall sent it to the people in his database, and he started getting replies. And of course, here's one of the replies. Are you able to give me an idea of what we could list our home for? That's the come list me reply everybody wants. And then he got another one just a half an hour later. So literally one email message turned into $1.5 to $2 million in potential sides for Randall, right? So when I say conversation leads to contracts, this is exactly the sort of thing that I'm talking about. So I see some questions coming in. We'll get these answered. Melody, yes, Chirp is limited to 250 contacts. We have a nurture plan and a pro plan that allow for more contacts. However, let's keep in mind that Chirp is designed not for everybody in your database, only for the people who absolutely know who you are, your closest sphere and past clients. So Donna asking, can you use contact tags in Chirp? In Chirp, every single person is in one communication tag, right? There's just one group there. They all know who you are. Now, in Nurture and Pro and other Happy Grasshopper accounts, of course, you can have as many tags as you choose. We do have a complete database messaging solution. And if you're using or yeah, a database on your site, absolutely. In fact, I didn't really show this off here. I'll jump over to the contacts area. So we've got a full, like, easy to use CRM solution that's baked right in. So I can sort these contacts any way I choose. You see, we've got the Revaluate score for these people listed here. And sorry that I'm freezing up, guys. I just got the screen flash that the connection's unstable. We're getting some rain here in Tampa Bay today. But I'm going to jump into a contact record here, my buddy Shane. So Shane's place gets mapped here for us. We're able to track all the information that we have about him. We can keep notes. We have a full log of everything that happened here today or has ever happened with this contact. You'll see today at 11:11 a.m. I sent this email, Breaking Bad Habits. So that went out and it was delivered. So our system's logging all that, is keeping track of all that. Tiffany, yeah, rain, we get that here in Florida. We don't get that white fungus-like stuff you do in Colorado, though. So let's see here. Cynthia is asking, is Revaluate free forever? Well, if you buy the annual plan, you will get Revaluate free, included in your plan on that annual plan for the full 12 months. Chris Dreyer and the team at Revaluate, I'm very close with them. I think they've got a fantastic company and product. And, here we are, value of relationships. If you buy service directly from Revaluate, the minimum you can invest is about $1,600 a year. And here you're able to get it as part of what we're doing at no additional charge. So value those relationships. I can't tell you how important they are. Let's see here. So Ted, you're saying, oh, and it jumped off the screen there. So this offer cannot be taken advantage of on Monday. This offer expires Sunday at midnight. That's when this expires. So I certainly encourage you to get in before then. If there's some issue and you need an extension or something, we're human beings here. Our goal is to help you, right? So just reach out to me, dan@happygrasshopper.com, and we'll figure out what we need to do to help you. And Princess, I see your comment there. So Brian, Maya, one of our staff members on the call, please just take a note there. She's saying she doesn't see Revaluate in her site. So let me point out a couple of things. When you come to the contact index area, every single contact should have their Revaluate score listed there. And then when you're on your dashboard, you'll see contacts with the Revaluate score above 80 show up there on your homepage. And in my list, I actually don't have any above 80 right now. So they should see that. Let's see. Rob, I have no idea. He's asking me what the over-under is on the game Sunday. Two old guys at quarterback. So yeah, I live in Tampa and I've heard of the game football. To give you an idea what a sports fan I am, I tuned in on Sunday, excited to watch the Bucs game, only to learn it was played on Saturday. So that's the truth. Business is my sport. I'm a happy grasshopper quarterback for sure. So let's see here. Cynthia, you're asking if there's an additional charge for Revaluate after 1 year, or if there's a code for the special offer. There is no additional charge for Revaluate after 1 year. If you renew, we're going to renew that agreement with them on your behalf as well. Is there a code for the special offer? That's just happygrasshopper.com/meetchirp. that's where you need to go to take advantage of that. Oh, Melody, you're in Clearwater Beach. How cool is that? So I live in Odessa. I mean, we're close enough to get together for lunch. I would love to do that. And Melody, by the way, is asking, do you know the criteria to determine their score? So super cool stuff here. Let me find their stuff here on the screen. Am I in the right spot? Here we go. So they're looking for divorces, deaths, graduations, birth announcements. They're scanning property appraiser search sites. They're scanning social media. They're looking for those sorts of events to be occurring to influence their score. So, there have been quite a few predictive analytics companies that have tried to solve this. And I think Revaluate has done the best job of them. So I'm a believer in their service. Certainly encourage you to check them out. And Brian says, I'll pass this along. The over under is 51 point. I don't even know what that means. Who's going to win? Is it going to be the Bucks or the Saints? I don't know. I hope it's the Bucks, because I think it'd be pretty cool if the Super Bowl happened in Tampa and the Bucks played. That'd be cool. And yeah, Maya, sorry, I can't do anything about the internet right now. I hope it clears up here. Yeah, Lisa, I know why you're getting that. And please give Thomas a hug. Thomas, hug Lisa for me. I freaking love you too. We need to talk more often. Let's do that. And I'll reach out to you afterwards. We'll circle up on that. All right, so I'm going to scan through and look for more questions here. We have exhausted our planned hour. I'm happy to hang out and answer a few more questions. I've got time to do that. And in summary, let's walk through here, guys. We've talked about all the different ways you could affordably grow your business. And we've agreed that the best way to do it is through relationships. I'm telling you, the ROI on investing in conversation with people you like is astronomical. It is. So please, 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 whether you take advantage of this offer or for some strange reason you decide to go it alone, this is something you really need to do. The quality of the relationships you have with the people in your database will protect you from whatever happens in your market. Like right now, so many parts are seeing inventory shortages that they couldn't even imagine. And in that environment, the people with the relationships tend to win. Think about all those past clients you've served and maybe the years and years you've been in business. If you had maintained relationships with them, you would have a huge advantage over your competition right now in getting the opportunity to list those properties as they're ready to sell. So thank you, Leslie. I really appreciate that. I definitely do. And Cynthia, I see your question. She's asking about the 100% upgrade credit. So let's say you start with Chirp right now. You decide that's the path. And then a few weeks or months or, a decade later, you say, I'm ready to upgrade. We'll give credit for the upgrading to another account type. That's how we do it. And Bruno, you're welcome. Absolutely, you're welcome. Ted, I see your note there. I will do that. I'll reach out to you. I know I've got a 4 o'clock and a 5 o'clock today, so I'll try to get to you in the next hour or so. Awesome. And Leslie, thanks for passing this on to Carol. Really appreciate that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to just tread water for a moment to see if there are any last questions that come in. Sincerely, I do really want to thank you for your decision to be here today. You didn't have to. It means a lot to me that you took time out of your life to spend it here with me. And I hope that my commitment to providing value and service for you shows up in return. There's really nothing more I want for my life than to help people get what they want. So thank you, everybody, for attending. I really appreciate it. Wow, Cynthia, that is really kind. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Okay, lots of thank yous. Gosh, you guys are welcome. It's not just a pleasure, it's a privilege. I'm going to close with Rob's joke here, I think. He says, I found $20 at the CVS parking lot. So I asked myself, what would Jesus do? And turned it into wine. I love it. Life is, oh God, life's too short not to laugh. Oh, thank you, Dawn. That's kind. Gwen and Fred, I'm guessing. You're certainly welcome. For True. Gene, you're on my calendar. We're going to be talking again today. Tomorrow we're talking. Can't wait to see you again. That'll be great. And yeah, Rob, you should. You want to write some email for us? Come on down. We got room. I live on a horse farm. I can clean out a stall for you. It'll be done instantly. No problem. All right. Well, guys, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Melody, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yep, I'll look for that email and I'll certainly answer your questions. So what they call you, Fred. Awesome. One last little thing here, guys. Dan@happygrasshopper.com. That's my email address. My phone number, 727-533-5175. I'm a real dude, a real human being who really does value the time that you spent here with me. So sincerely, if there's ever anything I can do to help you, I'm here for you. We need to be here for each other now more than ever. It's just been a wacky year. This whole past year has been bizarre, and 2021 is not starting out much better. So, please feel free to reach out if there's anything I can do for you. I mean that sincerely. So until next time, have a great afternoon, and whatever you do, go out and start conversations. Have a great day. Take care.